The FemC in what do you call it?
Persona 3?
P3P is incredible
because
there's always they've always done this thing in the games where you have like normal dialogue options, right?
Right.
And then the third option in a choice is usually like the author insert of like what the canon character is. So in 3, the canon answer is like this mopey dickhead. like don't care. And, like it's ellipses like 9 times out of 10. Like it's like I don't care. In 4, like I almost called him Charlie, which is funny because that's just the giant bomb name for that character. But you is like a fucking weirdo. Like when Teddy bites his hand in the TV, like he'll like the Chie asks him if he's all right, and like it's like yeah I'm fine or it hurts a little bit, and the third option is like I'm literally dying. Oh, and like Chie goes what? No, you're not. What you? Anyway, and in P5, the third option is like a complete scumbag. Like it's an absolute like it's the Ren Amamiya's like third options. For example, when your teacher is like, I don't think we should be doing it. I'm your teacher. The third option is, but that's the best part, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like scumbag, right?
Like, real big scumbag, like, yeah.
Like I'm gonna run around the school getting everyone pregnant, and I'm gonna steal, and I'm gonna do crimes. I love crime. The FemC in P3, her canon shit is also a scumbag, and it's hilarious. like when one of your teachers, when you find out that a student is having a crush on his teacher, and they might be like doing illegal shit behind closed doors. Like she tries to like one of the options is to joke about blackmailing him. Or like she suggests, I think to one of her classmates, I think it's the tennis girl, that she like sell photos of herself to get some extra cash. Like she's fucking she's trash. She's great.
She's trash. It's great. She's a fucking weirdo scumbag. Yeah.
There are not enough games where you can play like trash. Like playing the hero is overrated. Playing like not a villain, but like a garbage person is way underrated.
So you want to be like the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Where like you're not necessarily like causing the demise of humanity, but you're not exactly a role model either.
No, I mean garbage. Like one step above homeless miscreant. and that's why Disco Elysium is the best game forever.
That's true. Disco Elysium, you are right there, aren't you?
You're not on the cusp of homeless.
You
actually
are homeless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot how good Disco Elysium was.
Fallout the Frontier was made for you, Pat. Also, you should check out Tyranny.
Oh man, no, I don't want it. But like in KOTOR 2, I'm playing a Sith right now. And like I drove off these dudes shaking down this random alien, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for saving me." I'm like, "No, I just didn't want them to have all the fun." And he's like, "What?" And then I killed that motherfucker and took his shit.
Oh man, that is. I need to play the KOTOR games. I tried to play them a while ago, but it was like back when I had like a really garbage. It was a shit toaster laptop, and it literally couldn't run it.
If you're planning on doing those, hit me up because each version of the game has its own problems.
Really?
Yeah. So like the first, like KOTOR 1, play the Android version emulated on a PC.
Wow, like, really? The Android version?
The Steam version is so fucked. It's fucked. It has not been updated since 2004. And it does not work well.
Holy shit.
So you want to play the
Symphonia.
You want to play the way more up-to-date Android version that has controller support.
Oh my god, the Steam one doesn't even have controller support?
No, why would it have controller support?
That's 2004. You're right.
Like it's meanwhile, KOTOR 2 got re-released like 2 years ago, and does have controller support and widescreen support and mod support and all this because that game released in a completely broken, fucked up manner, and
so they
desperately needed to be fixed. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! All right, that's good to know.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I don't know how much KOTOR is like what was the online Star Wars game that everybody liked called?
Tor.
But yeah, I remember in that game you could be very scumbag, and I quite enjoyed being an absolute miscreant. In the online one.
Now I want to point out what I'm talking about. I actually don't want to I think the KOTOR way of doing things, where someone's like, "Hey, can you help me out?" and I'm like, "Sure, I'll help you off this cliff." Right?
Yeah.
Like it's on purpose cartoonish.
Yeah.
Right? Like you are you have the ability to be as evil can be. But I want more games where, how do I put this? There need to be more games where you have the ability to not necessarily break the law, but just to be complete human trash.
Yeah.
Right?
So basically,
you don't want to always be a saint.
You can be Dennis Reynolds,
yes!
Deandra Reynolds, Mac,
yes!
and Charlie.
I want to play all Persona like I'm a character on Always Sunny.
That's perfect.
Like when I got to the end of my original run of Persona 5, and I hit Valentine's Day, and every single girl in the game was like, "What's going on?" My in my head justification was that I was trying to create the perfect STD by just cross-pollinating a storm of disease in all of you.
Jesus Christ. That's
right?
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like the video game that you would want to play so much, like the perfect title, because it's so on point, the implication.
Yeah, no, it's Disco Elysium. Like when I started playing Disco Elysium, I could not help pick every scumbag option available. Like I was losing my mind. I punched that kid in the face. That stupid Kuno kid. I punched him in the face, and then I game overed super early by shooting the girl. And apparently, shooting the little girl in the head in Disco Elysium, actually does game over you.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to murder a child in that game.
Oh.
Bummer.
8 out of 10 could not murder child. Jeez.
It's I think I think Persona 5 was the one that actually unlocked this desire to be human garbage, because I remember back to my original spoiler cast with Wooly on the podcast 2-3 years ago, in which we talked about what girl did you go with? I'm like, well, the first girl that I was attracted to in that game was the teacher, not because she was your teacher, but because she was a sex worker and you had to pay for it, and that's fucked up.
That is it. It is. I gotta be honest. When I first played through P5 and I unlocked Kawakami's story, there was a part of me that was like, I should probably romance her, because her life is so it's such a fucking mess that her having a relationship
benefits in the game, mechanically.
That's true though. She actually does, because you can do an extra action at night or something. Yeah. But I was like, man, her life is such a disaster that the best thing going for her is this fucked up relationship with her student. That's the only thing she's got. Yeah, /client. It's the only thing she has going for her. Everything else is a fucking disaster in her life. She is a dumpster fire life, and it's just ooh, I feel bad
I think like there's one of those things like when you say like a game has like its overt themes, like so in Persona it's like rebelling against authority, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then there's what the mechanics like subtly tell you what the themes are. And like one of the really fucked up themes of Persona 5 is that it's okay to date adults in high school if you're a guy. Because like the mechanically most advantageous S-links in the game are all adult women. Like all of them.
Yeah.
Except for the drunk. She's terrible.
Wait, which one's the drunk? She
reporter.
literally works. You don't
even remember.
Yeah, the reporter at the club. Right? Yeah, that's yeah.
Right, like the doctor, the teacher, and the fortune lady, like are all in their 20s.
Oh, that's right.
And they're all three of them are the most really mechanically advantageous S-links.
That is true.
But moving, and so like I was like I desperately wanted Royal to include a female playable character because I wanted to see just how fucked those storylines would have gotten with the roles overtly reversed, right?
Oh,
because
yeah.
You would have seen this thing where everyone was talking about, wow, Persona 5, it's incredible, it's like the game of the year, wow. And then you just reverse those identical relationships, and then you would have like tons of articles written about how the game is fucked up and toxic, yada yada. And then you go, well, was it not
prostitution as a teenager?
Right? Was it not fucked up and toxic when he was a guy? Was it not? Right?
Because
like,
it is. You're right.
Right? It's just as bad. Like, come on, guys. But to reiterate all the way back to what I was saying is that I knew I had the scum in my heart playing video games when I was talking to Wooly and he's like, oh, you didn't take Kamakami out to Valentine's Day or whatever? Like, no, I dumped her once she stopped charging. Like, there's a part in that storyline where you don't have to pay her to come over anymore. And I was like, oh, fuck this. This isn't the screwed up shit that I signed up for with this S-Link. Paige, I'm talking on a podcast right now.
She stopped charging and I was out.
and then I cut the cutscene where Sojiro asks you not to date Futaba.
Oh, and then
I immediately maxed out Futaba. And I vividly remember sitting here by myself, and I got one of the last S-links with him where he's like, one of the middle ones where he teaches you how to make really good coffee. Right? And I'm like, man, your fucking adopted daughter's sure gonna appreciate the extra vigor this coffee you're teaching me how to make is going to give me. And I was like laughing at him. And he's like, yeah,
fairness, like up until that point, he was kind of a dick to you, right? So
he's an asshole. He's a fucking dick.
So like at that point, if you're like, yeah, you don't want me to date her, well, fuck you. I'm gonna totally. I'm gonna
get her pregnant and leave at the end of the year.
Whoa!
I'm gonna be gone. What? No, it's a video game.
What? I wasn't gonna go that far. I was like, oh yeah, I'll date her to piss off Dad, but I wasn't gonna fucking
gone. Get on a plane, fly to America. I'm going to a different game.
Gee. Well, that's
I like to say it. Jesus fucking Christ, Pat.
This is like the fourth time I have told this exact story, and every single time people lose it.
I mean, it's a hell of a story, man. It's a hell of a story.
No, here's the thing.
Oh god!
Like this is one of those things where Like, and on a more real note, like I remember talking about the Yakuza games about this. The Yakuza games are a really good example, but Persona does it as well. In which, for example, let's take Persona 5 as a good example. Persona 5 originally, and then still in Royal and in a really weird way, has a really unflattering depiction of gay people.
Yeah.
Right? The only gay people in the game at all are dudes that either hit on Ryuji and he's like, I'm a high school student, and they're like, ooh, even better. Or in the Royal re-release where they tried to fix it, they didn't alter the scene at all. They just made it so that they're just trying to get him to dress in drag. And he's like, I don't want to dress in drag. And they're like, ha ha ha, we'll get you, honey. Ha ha, we're scary gays. And like, if I would say Persona 5 is one of my favorite games, one of the things that people would say is like, oh, then you're cool with it. Like, no, of course not. Right? Just because I really enjoy this thing does not mean I necessarily agree with all of its views, both explicit and implicit. Yeah. I play the Yakuza series. A lot of the morals that those games overtly tell you as a player are fucked up, horrible morals that are bad.
Need I remind you, Yakuza are the Japanese mafia. They're not good people.
But you know, if they really believe in themselves, then you'll forget about all those people they killed for no reason in front of you.
No reason whatsoever.
Those people and their whole families.
Yeah.
But he was good to me though. But yeah. And so like the idea of like of being judged on like the kind of trash that you enjoy, or more specifically the kind of trash things that you would do in a game, they don't reflect on your personality. It's fantasy. It's a fucking It's like if I don't want to throw 100 orphans into an orphan crushing machine. But if you give me that option in a game, I can't click it fast enough.
Morbid curiosity would get me to click that option too, to be honest with you. If there was a game that was like, there's a cage with 1,000 orphans, and if you push the button, there's a machine down there that is specifically designed to morbid curiosity is going to make me be like, look, I can reload this save.
That too.
And then the game tells you will receive no mechanical benefit or money for this option. Are you sure you want to do it? And you're like, yes! Yes! I want to see the orphan crushing! Jesus. It's okay because they got no parents.
Oh. Jesus. That's what makes it okay.
Oh,
not that it's a fictional video game or that there are no real consequences. They have no parents. It's fine. Good Lord.
Somebody pointed out Hitman. In the Hitman games, I tried my best to kill no one but my targets. Not because I feel bad, but because I think it's unprofessional.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, wow, that's fair. Sure. I mean,
if somebody's going to pay you to murder a dude, they don't want to hear on the news that there was like a fucking shootout at their house.
It's true.
They want to hear, oh, it's so-and-so tragically drowns in a freak bathtub accident.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's the same idea where it's like, you can enjoy like trashy stuff in video games and it doesn't reflect on you and that being you. It's the same with any like form of media. Like just because you like gory horror thrillers doesn't mean that really reflects on like shit that you like to do in real life. It's trashy media and you like trashy media and you like to make these horrible decisions because it's just, you know.
You get more Adam if you spare the little sisters in Bioshock 1 and 2. I was pretty sure that you got more by murdering them.
No, that's that game's like biggest problem. Is so Bioshock presents like, do you want to murder the little child to get money, or do you want to not murder the little child to get half as much money? Right? And so you're like, okay, that's a moral choice. And most games do those really badly because the moral choice has to be the weaker gameplay choice. Like, being good is hard.
Yeah,
being
Papers, Please does this perfectly.
Right? Being evil is easy, right? So you should make the good option harder so that people are tempted to choose the bad option out of pure happenstance. but ease of use, right? But very early on, people found out that, hey, did you know that if you spare 3 little sisters, even though you only got half for each, they give you, like, I think you get 80 or 40 or something like that. Like if you, like, you know, if you kill them or save them. But then if you save 3 in a row, they give you like 200 as like a, you did a good job. I found this. So you actually get like significantly more overall for choosing the good option. It's just slightly delayed. And it's like, no. Come on.
Stick with your guns. Make it difficult to be good. Like,
you just made that choice meaningless because the bad choice is now a bad choice in both senses. So why would anyone ever pick it? Come on.
Yep.
Indian food, nice. I liked Papers, Please moral choice system where, like, I guess it really just shines with me because I'm a government worker now, where, you know, we pass sentence on certain clients and members of the public for the programs that they're applying for and shit. But the issue is that we bear no ill will towards people. We're just doing our jobs, and based on the regulations and the rules and what they did or didn't do, they do or don't qualify for stuff that we can do for them, and we have to either discontinue or whatever. And people will think, like, you're such a horrible person. How could you do this? You're ruining our life. You're killing us. You're killing children. It's like, lady, I'm just doing my job.
I think the best moment in Papers, Please for me, like the moment that my brain like unlocked, was when it was like it gives you these sob stories. And then it's like, hey man, are you gonna, you know, maybe fudge your paperwork a little bit to help the sob story out, you know, kind of thing. And then it escalates and it escalates and it gets faster and faster. There's more paperwork and there's more paperwork. And I hit a moment where this woman started her sob story, right? And I saw that there was like some trivial error with her paperwork. And I was like, I don't have time for this. Get the fuck out of my line. Right? Like the morality of the situation did not enter into my mind at all. All that came into my brain was like, I do not have the 5 seconds to waste to even listen to you. Get out of my face next, please.
Yeah.
And that's when the game just like my third eye opened and I'm like, oh my God. This game's the best game ever. Like, holy shit. I think oh god, was it Wooly that came up with it or Wooly that found it? Where it was somebody's description. I think it was Wooly that came up with it. It was like where he thought the game was terrible and that he was like frustrated every day playing it, and it was like like more and more frustrating, and he couldn't get through the things fast enough. And like what's the point of this? Because I'm just getting money to give to these fucking people that that like are a single screen at the end of the game, and they're getting sick, but I don't see them anywhere. They're not where I spend my day. Like, who can? And then he was just like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest fucking thing ever."
The revelation finally hit.
Like, that's the point. Like, you completely you allowed me to internalize this misery.
Oof.
Incredible.
Oof. I still need to play Papers, Please.
It's so
miserable
good.
Experience.
It's a miserable experience, but eventually, apparently, it turns into an eye-opening, internalizing experience that everybody seems to love. So,
Papers, Please is a really good example of those games that's like, games have to be fun. Like, fuck no, they don't. Go play this shit.
You never